Can Malik Beasley excel in transition? Grayson Allen, Brandon Ingram of Duke are terrific in ball screens and awesome in isolations. What a great matchup tonight.
If Beasley and Bacon continue at their current pace, they will be the highest scoring freshman duo in the history of the ACC.
How about that?
Now, they've got plenty to lean on offensively, but defensively is where Leonard Hamilton's team struggles. They are 14th in the ACC in points allowed, and in the bottom 4 in opponent's field goal percentage and opponent three-point percentage, and we know Duke can shoot it. So their perimeter defense tonight seemed to be something that he was going to be focusing on. Here's Derek Thornton, missing to start the game.
And Florida State's really concerned about Duke's ability to shoot the three ball as they turn it over there.
Grayson Allen gets the steal, pulls up, comes up short. Plumlee keeps it alive. He misses the bunny. It's ripped away by Dwayne Bacon. And 3 seconds is called.
Yeah, Plumlee clapping his hands on that one because he knows when he catches that basketball inside, he's got to finish. He usually, when he catches it around the rim, dunks that basketball. That was a perfect time to do it. But I think the length of Boris Bojanowski, 15 in black, bothered him on that shot.
Xavier Rattan-Mays draws the first foul of the game on Derek Thornton. Thornton back in the lineup tonight after injuring his shoulder and fighting through pain in the loss to Louisville for Duke over the weekend. And we're going to see Matt Jones on the floor tonight as well. He's out there starting as he missed the Louisville game after spraining his ankle against North Carolina.
Yeah, he was ready to go against Louisville, but the coaches want to keep him out just to be sure. They lead him down the stretch. Another turnover by Florida State.
Boris Bojanowski couldn't handle the pass. Here's Allen for 3. The long rebound, right back out to Ingram.
Going to be one of the keys to this game, Bob, is Florida State's going to have to box out long because Duke takes a lot of three-point shots, around 25 a game, and those balls will carry them long off the rim.
Ingram misses, and this time the rebound ends up with Monte Brandon.
And with 4 guys on the floor for Florida State who can push the basketball, they've got to look to create some pace on missed shots of Duke.
That bank shot won't go for Bacon.
You're going to see Florida State mixing up the defenses, little zone, little man, trying to keep this high-octane offense of Duke off balance.
A combined 0 for 6 start between the two teams.
Got to get a little dribble penetration on the swing of that basketball for Duke to make that zone collapse.
Jones tosses up an air ball. Plumlee is pushed out of bounds, though, by Bojanowski.
Yeah, Boris Bojanowski got caught that time because he did it on the first offensive rebound possession.
Let's check the Fonz focus and see where your eyes will be tonight.
Yeah, this is about for Florida State holding Duke under 9 made threes per game. Duke averages about 9 per game. And for Duke, they got to limit this high-octane transition game of Florida State. Lead the country in transition points. Florida State here in man. Duke's got to look to drive the basketball.
Thornton does just that. There's a lid on the basket at both ends, and now Plumlee's called for a foul.
Both teams seem a little anxious early here. Some early turnovers. We've seen some air balls, both long and short tonight, and Florida State knows what's on the line here. They were in perfect position 4 games ago at 6-5 to really put themselves in position to be firm on that bubble, but have lost 4 straight, and they want to come out and try to get a big upset here in camera.
Nearly another turnover. Malik Beasley ends up with the pass through traffic. He can't hit. Bacon keeps it alive, and a fresh 30 for the Noles.
I think Xavier Rattan-Mays, number 22 in black, has to get involved in the offense because teams are loading up against Beasley and Bacon.
Rattan-Mays turns the corner and turns it over. The 3rd Florida State turnover as Plumlee got the steal. Plumlee throws a wild pass off the leg of Dwayne Bacon, and it caroms out of bounds. We were actually responsible for starting the downward spiral for Florida State, as the last time they had a win was before they played Syracuse. We called that game at the Carrier Dome, and it's been nothing but losses since. Ingram tracks down his own miss. It will stay with Duke with 29 on the shot clock. So they get a fresh shot clock as Duke is 0 for their first 8 from the field.
Well, I tried to mix it up on you a little bit, Bob. I drove the sports car the first few times around. That didn't work at Florida State, so today I tried to drive the pickup truck. Let's see what that does.
If form holds for our calling Florida State games, they just want to put us on a bus and get us out of town. 3 minutes gone by, and neither team has scored. And now Plumlee needs help. Matt Jones. In and out.
So far, what Florida State worked on today in the shoot-around is working. They want to contain dribble drive and force Duke to take contested threes. So far, their game plan's going well.
Malik Beasley finally is able to break the ice as Florida State's on the board.
2 straight games for him, under 10 points. Teams are game planning for him and for Bacon, so that's a big shot to get him going.
Grayson Allen leans in, and Duke is able to break the ice as well.
What a pretty cut by Grayson Allen. Florida State's playing up high on the high side of all those exchanges, and that little back cut is open. That was beautifully executed by Duke.
Bacon, the long rebound. Plumlee is able to control it. He has 4 rebounds already.
Dribble penetration will be good for Duke. They can attack that ACC area, cause the D to collapse, and then they can get some kicks or get some layups at the rim.
Allen for 3. Yes, only a matter of time. He's got all 5 for the Blue Devils.
Little miscommunication there on who should have taken Grayson Allen. And for Grayson Allen, who can really shoot the 3 ball, can't be any miscommunication there. You got to take him and make him make the extra pass.
Awkward crossover finds the bottom for Jarquez Smith. That didn't look comfortable, but it ended up going through.
Yeah, they need his production. Haven't gotten what Florida State has wanted from him this year. They wanted about 10 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 blocks, and they want to continue to work because he's got to fortify that front line with Ojo out.
Ingram can't connect. Another rebound from Malik Beasley. End-to-end, Beasley unable to finish. It gets sloppy at midcourt, and a foul called on Monte Brandon. Duke is 2 for 12 from the field, and they're winning. How about that start?
No, and the reason is both of those guys have the ability to shoot the long ball, but they do a great job of getting into the gaps. And when they get into the gaps, both of them are unselfish players. And I love the fact that Duke has such versatility to be able to have 2 guys who can beat you off the bounce and make plays. That's a luxury. I can only think of a couple teams around the country, Oklahoma, who have multiple guys on the floor. They have the 2 main guys who they want to get baskets for, but multiple guys who can make plays. And I love what Brandon Ingram and Grayson Allen does for this team, or what they do for this team.
Well, Allen's been so consistent. He has had at least 15 points and shot 51% in every ACC game so far this season. And now he has all 8 of Duke's opening points as they're doubling up FSU about 6 minutes in.
Yeah, after going 1 for 9 from the 3-point line against Louisville, how about 26 points per game over the last 2? Grayson Allen has been absolutely killing it.
Booker hits a 3, and he is lethal from behind the arc. Also an ACC play. He is shooting 49% in conference play from 3-point land, 2nd best in the league.
Terrific catch-and-shoot guy. And here we talked about earlier about Florida State mixing up their defenses, a little zone, little man, little full-court pressure as well. Ball's got to get to the middle, off the bounce or off the pass, to force that defense to collapse, and Duke will be able to get some good looks. How about a good look there by Kennard?
Luke Kennard with his first field goal on his first field goal attempt off the bench.
Coaches felt he was a little fatigued on Saturday, and as a result, he was a little reluctant to take shots. Coach K got on him hard on Monday, wanting him to continue to be aggressive on the offensive end.
Well, Dwayne Bacon is aggressive, and he will go to the line.
Folks, I love this kid. I love his moxie out there on the floor. He can beat you in a variety of ways. He has the pull-up game off the bounce, can shoot the long ball. And an area of improvement for me, having watched him, is his ability to get to the rack as well.
Well, you mentioned fatigue. The freshman wall, we hear about that. I mean, obviously, you lived through it as a freshman in college, as a rookie in the NBA. Is there such a thing? And how hard is it to fight through?
Well, someone used Dwayne Bacon and Malik Beasley as that example, because Malik Beasley, for example, has been in double-figure scoring pretty much all of the year, and then he went 2 games where he barely reached 10. And someone suggested that he hit the wall, and they said, oh, what a finish!
That's Malik Beasley, right on cue.
Woo! What a finish! But they were saying that, but he played 45 games in high school. Here's the difference. In college, at this level, let's watch this play. How about the rip baseline, and that's how you finish when you go into the rack. Mr. Beasley. How about freshman to freshman, chest to chest? Turning around, staring him down, letting him know about it too. But they're saying that, but he played 45 games in high school. He should be able to handle 30 here in college. Well, the difference is most of the stars in high school don't have to guard. When you come to these kind of programs, like a Florida State and a Duke, the coaches expect you to guard, and so the likelihood of hitting the rookie wall becomes very high, and I think he did go through that process. But how about early? How about he's active here early, driving it, looking to take shots. They're going to need that tonight from number 5 in black.
Rattan Mays turns it over. Kennard from the corner. Offensive rebound by Plumlee with the up fake. Stripped away, but a foul call.
Yeah, I thought Kennard rushed that shot there from the left corner. He's usually patient when he catches the rock. But, Bob, I do think that this game is going to be won in the paint. Marshall Plumlee brings tremendous effort to the game, and I was interested to see how the Florida State front line would handle his aggressiveness around the rim. So far, not so good.
Plumlee has been in double figures 8 times this season, and he has really come on, especially against ACC competition. Well, after tonight's Big Ten matchup that follows us, Indiana, Illinois, stick around for SportsCenter at night. Lisa Kearney and Kevin Connors will have all the highlights of the night in college hoops, the NHL, the latest from spring training, day 3 at the Combine. It's SportsCenter at night tonight after basketball right here on ESPN, streaming live on Watch ESPN and the ESPN app.
Yeah, Illinois is going to have to guard that 3-point line of Indiana. Indiana's been averaging about 11 made threes over the last 3 games. The best offenses to watch in the country. They really move well without the basketball.
Want to talk about a guy that has made the most of coming back for his senior season? Yogi Ferrell has been playing at an all-time high. There's a great backdoor find. Terrence Mann from Malik Beasley. That's his first bucket. Beasley averages only about an assist and a half per game. But that's a big one there. Knocks the game at 12.
I said earlier that because of the overplay of both of these teams, backdoor opportunities to be there for both teams. Beautiful execution there by Florida State.
Grayson Allen can't hit.
See, I like this early push.
Man, Euro step crossover, awkward. But again, it finds the bottom over the top of Chase Jeter.
And that's why Florida State's so good on the break. They have 4 guys out there on the floor right now that can rebound the basketball and go. And it allows you to get into your early offense very quickly.
Another offensive rebound for Duke. This one from Jeter, but he missed from point-blank range.
Florida State's got to continue to put the pressure on with the pace.
Bookert misses. The long rebound to Beasley. He lost control. Gathered in the corner by Jarquez Smith.
Nice.
Booker had it taken away by Grayson Allen. 2-on-1. Allen can't finish, but a foul call. So we'll step aside. It is bracket practice this week. We'll see who LaFonso Ellis picks, as all of our analysts this week are taking a swing at a mock bracket. And Duke, by the way, is in our bracket, as are some of the other teams there.
And then Duke's just on such a good run right now, playing in a good rhythm. They'll overwhelm Hawaii with their ability to knock down the 3-ball. And for Texas A&M, I know they've been sliding a little bit, but I feel like they're built for the NCAA tournament. 5 guys on the floor at all times that can put the basketball in the basket. And they're an excellent defensive team as well.
And absolutely no guts with that first round of picks. We'll find out in the second half if maybe you start to get a little braver. Matt Jones from the corner. He hits a 3 off the feed from Grayson Allen. His first bucket.
And Bob, earlier, I was talking about how important dribble penetration was for Duke, because Florida State collapses so hard on the basketball. There'll be those opportunities to kick it to the weak side as Florida State makes another beautiful back cut but can't finish.
Benji Bell missed after the feed from Booker. Ingram left wide open. Leonard Hamilton not pleased with the defensive breakdown as Brandon Ingram makes FSU pay.
Looking around at each other, you know someone's made a mistake. Huge mistake there by Florida State.
With LaFonso Ellis on Bob Wischusen. 14th overall in opponents' points per game defensively for Florida State. And Duke is already, as they heat up, made it a 4-point lead, and another foul is drawn, this one by Chase Jeter, as he controls the rebound.
Chase Jeter took a lot of heat early, and coming in, people were expecting him to fill in the shoes left by Jaleel Okafor. He's just not to that level. He's a 4-year kind of guy. I mean, same kind of thing that Skal Labissiere is going through at Kentucky, with everyone making a comparison with him with Carl Anthony Towns. And they're two completely different players, and you got to allow these guys time to really adjust. And I think Chase Jeter is finally starting to come along. Had a really solid game against Louisville.
Bernard can't hit the three. Bacon the rebound.
Needs the pace. They got to push the basketball on missed shots here to try to get to the rim.
Bacon leans in. Offensive foul. Guess who draws it? Chase Jeter.
Chase Jeter, picking up where he left off at the Louisville game, does a really good job of getting in perfect position to absorb that. When Bacon gets down the lane there, you got to know that Duke's going to come over and try to take a charge, and that's why you got to come to a jump stop and become a playmaker. He had players open all over the floor. He's got to get his eyes up and see guys. Missed opportunity there by Florida State. But what a nice job by Chase Jeter.
Ingram gives it up. Jeter throws it down.
Bob, we talked about how important it was for Duke to get that basketball either off the bounce or off the pass in that ACC area. As Devin Booker knocks down a big shot. The dribble penetration is so good for Duke. They got to continue to attack it off the pass or off the bounce.
That's the second field goal for Booker, and that was a big one. And now a Jeter chant goes up from the crowd. The McDonald's All-American, who has at times struggled, only averaging 1.5 points and a rebound and a half. Here he is inside. Draws another foul. This one will go on Terrence Mann. That's his second.
Chase Jeter played his best game against Louisville. Had to play with Matt Jones out. He rebounded the basketball, took a charge, made some key free throws, and so I just love watching kids develop, and this is a really good time for Chase Jeter. And as you get towards NCAA times, you need all hands on deck, and having that additional body out there is a plus for Duke.
Pardon me, Bojanovsky called for the foul. That's team foul number 7 for FSU, so it's a 1-on-1. Jeter at the line, only a 57% free throw shooter. But again, a McDonald's All-American. Played his high school basketball at Bishop Gorman in Las Vegas. 1 of 2 at the line, but it becomes a 3-point trip as Mac Jones tips in the follow.
Dwayne Bacon, instead of boxing out, really boxing up and out, decided to try to anticipate that basketball coming off the rim and jump for it, and it went over his head. That's why it's so important to maintain contact on your box outs. Mixed opportunity there by Bacon. Florida State's got to drive the basketball too.
Beasley instead of deep jumper. Won't go. Another rebound for Chase Jeter. It's one of the best 4-minute segments of basketball Chase Jeter's had this year. He comes and sets the screen. Thornton tied up. Held ball. It will stay with Duke.
Tell you what, Malik Beasley, 5 in black, is doing a terrific job of maintaining his position as the fans give a well-deserved ovation here for Chase Jeter, who's now put 2 really good segments back-to-back. Louisville and coming in here tonight. Well-deserved.
Plumlee back in. Thornton gives it up to Ingram. The ball fake. The jumper, it won't go. And a rebound pulled down by Dwayne Bacon.
Kumajay, number 21 in black, got away with an over the back there on Plumlee.
Booker can't hit the three. An easy rebound, though, and a put in for Malik Beasley.
It's nice to see Devin Booker, number 1 in black, being aggressive here tonight. His aggressiveness coming off those ball screens is creating opportunities for offensive rebounds on the weak side. Beasley in perfect position for that one.
Ingram again left alone. Again, he makes Florida State pay.
All of a sudden, Florida State having a lot of breakdowns on the defensive end.
Booker
Nice.
lobs it up to Kamaji, and he throws it down.
Wow, how about that awareness by Booker?
Thornton got it from the corner. The largest Duke lead up to 9. Bacon tries to go coast to coast. He'll shoot free throws when we return. But Duke getting balanced scoring after Allen led them early.
Area off the pass or off the bounce. The first one came off the pass. Now watch it off the bounce. Beautiful assist job right there, and Thornton knocks it down from the corner. That's why Duke exists to assist.
Grayson Allen had the first 8 for Duke, but they have responded with 7 different players now scoring, 10 total field goals, 8 off of assists. So they're a team that at times struggles to pile up assists. You saw only averaging 13.5 assists per game. That's 9th overall in the ACC. You would think there would be more with the extraordinary guard play that they have, but already 8 assists, and we have yet to play 14 minutes.
Well, they're a heavy isolation team, and oftentimes they're looking to get to the rim and finish. And so this is something that we're seeing new now, which would bode well for Duke in the tournament, is when they get down in the gaps, not necessarily all the time looking to finish, but kicking it out to some great shooters, and they've done that tonight. 8 assists, 10 baskets have led to 10 baskets tonight to Duke, for Duke. Beautiful execution here by the Blue Devils.
Plumlee catches it deep and scores, plus the foul. Umaji couldn't maintain his discipline in the lane, and Plumlee makes him pay.
Yeah, for you young inside post players at home, watch the footwork here by Plumlee over the right shoulder shot fake. The key in selling it is making sure that it looks like your normal shot. Jay bit on it, and beautiful up and under play by Marshall Plumlee. I tell you what, he's been a terrific player for the Blue Devils this year. Increased his points from last year, increased his rebounds, and his energy and effort is why I love MP3 is what they call him here on campus.
He's even better against ACC teams. You saw 8 points, 8.5 rebounds for the season. He's averaging 9.8 points, 9.9 rebounds in conference play. So as the games have become more important, he has become even better, although he just picked up a second foul.
And he's got to be careful at being over-aggressive. He's a little too aggressive there. Got to keep his discipline on the defensive end. Ball screens and dribble penetration been really good for Florida State. And anytime they catch Duke overplaying the passing lane, they've been able to go back door as well. Good D there by Thornton.
Nice crossover, though, by Booker. Couldn't hit the runner. Tracked down and saved by Bacon. Beasley for 3. Yes, that's a big save to keep the possession alive by Dwayne Bacon. And that allows Florida State to make it an 8-point game.
It's one of the best times to shoot that 3, Bob, is off an offensive rebound because most of the defense is below the foul line. Beautifully done by Florida State. Marshall Plumlee is open in the painted area. You got 2 feet in the paint, you got to deliver the rock.
Thornton, nifty little reverse. Woo. He's got 5.
How pretty was that? Degree of difficulty high, finishing with the left hand around the trees. Beasley's going now, got to get him some shots.
Off the mark there. Ingram able to clear. Plumlee thought about it. The crowd groaned. Now it's Thornton instead. Off to Plumlee with the left hand. And a different kind of groan. As Bacon through traffic. No good. Out of bounds. And it goes back to Duke.
Folks, watch this move by Derek Thornton. A little shot fake here to freeze the defense there. Shows baseline. Kumajay 7-3, folks. He gets that ball up in the air without even having to bring it to his right hand. That's Steve Nash-like right there. That was pretty.
I'm talking to Jeff Capel, assistant to Mike Krzyzewski before the game. It was interesting to hear him talk about the evolution this year of Derek Thornton's game and how, as he has de-emphasized trying to score, he has become a better scorer.
But that's the case for most people. Most of us we have our identity on our ability to be able to put it in the hole. And if we're putting it in the hole, our defense is better. But you got to change your mindset there. Your defense has to carry your offense, and he certainly flipped the switch there.
5 on the shot clock. Allen lets it go quickly. Here comes Devin Booker.
Thought Devin Booker was a little late. Kumajay was open in the post.
Bacon gives it up. Kumaji, though, deflects it right to Allen. Allen leans in. That's goaltending. Malik Beasley climbed the ladder. That was impressive, but it's 2 points for Duke. And 10 already in the first half for Grayson Allen.
Read and cut. And how about the little shot fake and freeze? Able to shoot that thing over the top. And here, just coming off a little screen along the baseline, he prepares his feet quickly to get into the shot. Grayson Allen carrying it here in the first half.
He's got the highest scoring increase from last season to this season in Division I. And if he keeps it up, as the reverse is blocked by Jeter. Malik Beasley at the rim, rejected by Jeter.
How about the confidence that Chase Jeter is playing with right now? Comes at a great time for Duke.
Allen gives it up to Jeter. Looking for contact, no call.
Duke did a really nice job there of getting back in transition D. See, I think Rattan Mays has got to get going on the offensive end. I'd like to see them run some stuff for him, getting him coming off screens and try to get Beasley and Bacon in transition.
Thornton called for the foul, so Rattan Mays will go to the line. But how about Chase Jeter protecting the rim?
How about the reaction? What I love about it is the left hand. A lot of young shot blockers, you can only get them to block it with their right. And if he would have tried to, he'd have been posterized. But blocking that one with the correct hand. Love the energy, effort, and the focus that Chase Jeter has come into this game with.
Thornton out, Kennard back in, and Rattan Mays, third best in the ACC in assists, averaging close to 12 points a game as well. Only a redshirt sophomore. If Leonard Hamilton can keep this group together, and if this group learns how to play some defense, and they get the size back when they get healthy next year in the front line, and he's got something. He's got a team here that could make a lot of noise, but he seems so frustrated, as Kennard does what so many have done this year to Florida State. Blows by with no defensive help in the paint. He seemed so frustrated earlier today, talking about his team's youth, and over talking about them with the term consistently inconsistent.
Yeah, we have to think about who Leonard Hamilton is. He's a defensive-minded coach, and when his teams were good, they were excellent on the defensive end, but he always had a ton of veteran players, and he just doesn't have that at his disposal. A lot of what they do is kind of pro-like complexity, and it takes a long time for guys to really pick it up, and that's why they've been inconsistent.
Allen in the corner. Kennard with the follow. Kumaji again, missed a rebound inside.
Thought Kumajay was pushed in his back there. Thought that should have been an offensive foul on Duke.
Spoken like the bitter big man that you are.
You little guards coming down there, pushing us in our back, getting an advantage. Should be a foul.
Fade away by Bacon. It's good.
And we talked about how important it was for Florida State to get dribble penetration on the ball reversal, particularly. Once they catch Duke closing out, you got to put that thing on the floor and get into the gap and become a playmaker. I love that play.
And Bacon clears. Bacon pulls up along 2. Bad shot.
That's a tough shot.
Terrence Mann with the offensive rebound, though, and then Mann fumbles it out of bounds. We've got another Hardwood Super Saturday coming up for you. 2 big-time matchups. And we'll start with an ACC showdown on the college side. Bryce Johnson, number 7, North Carolina, taking on number 3, Virginia at 6:30 Eastern on ESPN. And then to the NBA at 8 on ABC at 8:30. Steph and Splash City at the Thunderdome to take on KD, Russell Westbrook, and OKC. 2 terrific games on Saturday.
Yeah, UNC, UVA, ACC Player of the Year candidates, and Bryce Johnson and Malcolm Brogdon. Bryce Johnson's been getting it done lately. 22 points per game and 15 rebounds per game over the last 3.
Rattan Mays to the goal. And he's fouled. And goes down hard. And he is shaken up. Kennard called for the foul. That's his second.
This is why I like the early push from Florida State. If they can get into the gaps, they have 4 guys who are really adept at scoring around the rim. I think they got to continue with the pace here, especially off missed shots. And Chase Jeter maybe have a little blood there on that left arm.
So we'll have a moment just to tape an aspirin to it, put him right back in the game.
Bob, you know why I never like these? You're essentially icing the free throw shooter. There's got to be another way to be able to handle these situations, especially when you got a guy shooting a free throw.
Well, Michael Stevens, part of our officiating crew, went over to the Duke huddle and seemed to try to stop exactly what you're talking about. Told Duke, get out of the huddle. He's got a Band-Aid on the cut.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I think if there's blood, I think it should be an automatic substitution so you don't freeze the free throw shooter out there. Too much time elapses between the time the foul is called and the time that the free throw shooter gets a chance to take his foul shot. And of course, a really good free throw shooter ended up missing the front end.
And Rattan Mays, 81% at the line. He's a top 10 free throw shooter in the ACC. And misses them both.
One of my most hated plays in college basketball, as you can probably tell. Got to watch the pop here from Brandon Ingram. He loves to shoot that 3 off of it.
Jones in the corner. Another wide open look from 3 for Duke.
Yeah, the low guy for Florida State was supposed to X out. They never got it, and that's what led to that wide open shot. Pretty.
Kamaji throws it down. Another assist to Rattan Mays. Allen, good if it goes. And Duke has a 13-point lead at halftime. They dominate at the offensive ends, and they get everyone involved. All 7 players on the floor at some point in the first half for Duke scored at least 5 points. Led by Grayson Allen, who is in double. Just about set for the start of the second half, and Florida State needs a complete turnaround. Duke with a 13-point lead. Bob Wischusen, LaFonso Ellis. 14 more shots at the rim in the first half for Duke than Florida State. 8 first-half turnovers for Florida State, only 1 for Duke. 10 offensive rebounds for the Blue Devils in the first half. They get that many looks at the basket, they're going to make their fair share. That's why they've got the lead, it seems.
Well, the defense for Florida State has been absolutely poor here in the first half and has led to several three-point shots here. Look at the closeout. You never leave a shooter. You got to stay home until you get bumped off. Now here, lack of communication. Boris Bojanowski was supposed to rotate it up, didn't do. And look at this, wide open 3 from the corner. And if you allow Duke, who's a high percentage three-point field goal shooting team, and make 9 three-point attempts per game, you cannot allow Duke to get wide open looks, and they made Florida State pay in the first half.
Unfortunately for Leonard Hamilton, it is a script that he has seen play out too often, especially of late. His 4-game losing streak that Florida State is trying to break to keep their slim tournament hopes alive. And they'll start off the second half by drawing a foul on Derek Thornton. That's his third. But they have to figure out a way to get some stops, take care of their end of the court. They've got the offensive firepower to make Leonard Hamilton's team stand up. It's just, can they get stops?
Yeah, when they were the ACC champs in 2012, they had 6 seniors, and Bernard James was the anchor and wanted to be the best rebounder in the ACC. As Xavier Rattan-Mays, who I talked about in the first half, he's got to get going. They must get him going on the offensive end if they have any chance to get back in. But again, Coach Hamilton has won with slugfest in the 60s off of his defense. Now, wow, what a pass inside.
And a chance for a three-point play for Plumlee, and as Bojanowski is called for the foul.
And Bojanowski, again, out of position on this play. He allows Marshall Plumlee to do what you do what a big should. If you find a big on the high side, you walk him up the lane. If he's under, you walk him low. Plumlee did a really nice job of raising Bojanowski up, creating that perfect angle to throw it inside. And when you give to Marshall Plumlee in the paint, he knows exactly what to do around the rim.
Third foul on Bojanowski.
And so to your point, Bob, they're going through their growing pains right now because of their youth, but if they can keep everyone together along with the top 20 recruiting class coming in next year, Michael Ojo returning, Phil Kofer returning to solidify that front line, this is going to be an awfully good Florida State team.
Now they just need to be taken to some type of defensive boot camp in the offseason by Leonard Hamilton, as Rattan-Mays that close to a chance for a three-point play of his own. And if that foul is on Thornton, and it is, that is his 4th. So Derek Thornton is going to have to sit down.
I love how aggressive Xavier Rattan-Mays has been coming out of here in the second half. And I've wondered all year long, Bob, if when Florida State is in their half-court offense, if they should actually put the basketball in the hands of Devin Booker, let him run the point, and run Xavier Rattan-Mays off screens. He's an excellent catch-and-shoot guy off of screens, and if he's not open, he's really good at putting it on the deck, and he'll share the basketball and allowing Beasley and Bacon, those guys, to score more in transition. I feel like they've missed some easy opportunities on the offensive end, not getting 22 and black involved in the half-court offense.
Allows Florida State to set up a press.
The problem is you got a guy at 6'9" in Brandon Ingram that can see over the top of all that pressure, which really puts your defense at a disadvantage.
Kennard allows the flyby, hits the jumper. It was Rattan-Mays that bought the fake.
Yeah, Rattan-Mays going at the wrong angle on that contest, allowing Kennard to give that little shot fake and block and flow by.
Rattan-Mays, tough pass for Bacon to handle, and he can't. That's the 9th Florida State turnover. Still only 1 turnover for Duke. They only average 10.3 turnovers per game.
And yet, with as much time as we have left in this game, if Florida State can buckle down and get some stops and score on the offensive end, if they can get it to 10, especially 9, now all of a sudden, even on the road, psychologically, the game changes a bit. But given easy opportunities like that, it's not going to help their cause. Duke switching 1 through 4 here, taking away the driving angles of Florida State. They'll be able to cut back door.
Shot clock down to 7. Booker, one-on-one, a little head fake, sets up. A missed lay-in by Jarquez Smith.
Now Jarquez Smith got to finish around the rim. Couldn't miss out on those easy opportunities if they want to get back in this game.
Allen for 3. That's a brick. Booker, he'll try a triple, and he will knock it down.
It's pretty offense right there. Little drag screen in transition, and Devin Booker comes off that screen. And that's where he's grown over the years. Now as a senior, he would have been reluctant to take that shot. The defense went under. He's wide open to take that shot. That was a great read by Devin Booker.
Allen splits the D, throws it up to the rim. Plumlee can't finish. Ingram's got it. His lay-in won't go. That was blocked. Kennard to follow. plus the foul.
Bob's second, third, and fourth opportunities on the offensive glass will absolutely decimate you mentally. And Florida State's just not getting it done on the box outs. The defense, the rotations have been good on the last possessions, but they've not been able to finish it with the box out and rebound. They must improve in that area, but kudos to Duke with going to the glass, and they've been a terrific offensive rebounding team at times. Tonight, they've been outstanding.
They've got 12 tonight.
And when we were watching shoot-around today, I can remember each of the coaches saying, guys, no matter how good we play defense, we got to finish it with a box out and secure the rebound. Florida State has not executed that portion of the game plan well tonight. Good kick. Got to be ready to shoot when you catch that, though.
Taken down the lane. Off the bounce from Brandon. That's 6 now for Dwayne Bacon.
I love the weak side movement. That was really good recognition there by Bacon to take that little curl cut in the lane. Nice little delivery and finish. Need more of that from Florida State, but you've got to get stops here on the defensive end first.
Ingram spins and finishes.
Bob, that's pretty on a lot of levels. I mean, 6'9" with the crossover, the spin, and then a little bit of hesitation before he lets that ball go. That is, wow, that is big-time NBA move right there. And Bob, while we're talking about him, I would actually take him #1 in the draft this year. I feel his upside is just that much. It's so high, and he's going to fill out and put on some size. He can play either the 2 or the 3 position. And on some teams, he could actually go down to 4 once he puts on some size and strength.
Booker gives it up. That might be a shot clock violation. Instead, an offensive foul. Well, you mentioned Brandon Ingram. You mentioned NBA. LaFonso has a very flattering comparison to make between Brandon Ingram and an NBA star.
SportsCenter at night. 11 p.m., midnight, and 1 a.m. Eastern, only on ESPN.
Even right now, before he gets into the league, and you may say, Fon, how in the world could you take Brandon Ingram over my kid at LSU? And the reason I would take him over Ben Simmons is because of his versatility, his impact right now. He can knock down an NBA 3. He can run an offense. He can guard and defend. And I think he has a higher upside than Ben Simmons.
Well, Chad Ford's top 5 right now has Ben Simmons as the #1 player. But there is Brandon Ingram in the #2 slot.
It's almost the equivalent of Karl Anthony Towns last year and Jahlil Okafor. I love Jahlil Okafor. I think he's going to be a good pro for a long time. But Karl Anthony Towns is special. And the number of things that he could contribute right away, and he's having a phenomenal season this year, I think Brandon Ingram will have that same kind of impact as a rookie in the NBA next year.
You think Brandon Ingram's shooting range, especially, is where right now, and where can it be? And where does it have to get to consistently to be an NBA star that we all think and assume he will be?
Yeah, right now, he obviously shoots it so well from the college three-point line. And he has the mechanics to be able to get out to our line at 23-9 pretty quickly. Remember, Bob, each and every day you're working on your craft as a pro. They're excellent. I'll take guys who can beat you off the bounce early and make moves like this because I can make them a great shooter over a year or two. Brandon Ingram has all the tools.
And Ingram creates the turnover and finishes.
I guess he likes us talking about him, huh? He has all the tools, the vision, the handle. He's good in one-on-one isolation situations. He gets into the gaps. He makes the pass. He's got an elite level game that's only going to get better at the next level.
Bojanovsky with a follow. That's his first basket.
I would love to see him in a San Antonio Spurs uniform, a Golden State uniform, a Miami Heat, but I know he's going to get drafted high. So, unfortunately, he's going to have to.
Can somebody else get a good player?
I'm just saying.
I'll put Brandon Ingram on the Warriors of the Spurs for.
Yes, he's perfect.
How about the Knicks?
Yeah, that Knicks would be a good spot for him, too.
The Knicks don't have a first-round pick till, I think, 2032. Ingram with a follow.
And see, in the NBA, they would have called that first one a foul. You've been at the line. Hey, we'll take him in Denver. I'll take him at the Nuggets. Have him alongside of Emmanuel Mudiay.
Loose ball tracked down by Bojanovski. A fresh 30. As Bacon wastes no time laying it in. And a game that's far from over. Florida State can fill it up. They're down by 14. They've got the highest scoring tandem of freshmen in ACC history if Beasley and Bacon continue their form for the next 2 weeks.
And the most lethal three-point shooter in the ACC in Devin Booker, who's been aggressive tonight as well.
Unfortunately, they are on pace to give up about 85 points in this game, and Allen scores again. They just can't get stops.
Yeah, and we talked about how important it was for Duke to attack that ACC area off the bounce and off the pass, and they've been really good in the execution here in the second half.
Off-balance floater, won't go.
That's a
Bacon misses.
That's a tough angle, Bob. You got to use the glass when you're at that angle. Missed opportunity there by Bacon. That's a tough shot.
And a foul called on Terrence Mann. That's his second. Now we talk about Brandon Ingram as an NBA player. How about Grayson Allen? He is on pace to have the biggest scoring improvement 1 year to the next in the history of the ACC. Only a sophomore.
I'm the wrong guy to ask because I love Grayson Allen. Plays both ends of the floor. You know why I love Russell Westbrook.
Why would that make you the wrong guy to ask?
No, I'm just saying, you know why I love Russell Westbrook and why I think Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time. I had the privilege of playing against Michael. The reason I love certain guys is because they play both ends of the floor equally as hard. Grayson Allen is an elite level scorer, could beat you off the bounce. He's a catch and shoot guy, but he guards on the other end, and he is one tough customer. I think Grayson Allen is going to have a nice career in the NBA.
Duke spends a timeout here with about 12 minutes to go. It has been fun to watch. Brandon Ingram, talk about getting it done at both ends. Creates the steal and the finish. Last year, and I was proud to finish in the top 10 million. Hope you enjoyed the last 8 seconds of basketball we were able to present. We'll step aside. There's a look at the ACC according to Joey Brackets.
When LaQuinta.com sends Craig Wilson a ready-for-you alert the second his room is ready, you know what he becomes?
Great proposal. Let's talk more over golf.
Great.
How about over tennis?
Even better.
A game changer. The ready-for-you...
On ABC at 8:30 on the NBA side, the prediction, there will be points scored between Warriors and Thunder. Probably a little bit more easy to come by than on the college side as Steph Curry and KD square off. So that's two terrific games for you Saturday night.
Yeah, former Michigan State star Draymond Green is, in my opinion, is what makes that offense flow so well for Golden State. A guy who can play multiple positions, knock down three, excellent passer, and can guard probably 3 or 4 positions on the floor. Draymond Green having an outstanding year.
Grayson Allen rattles out a 3.
Bob, I know he missed it, but see how easily he shoots it? Those easy shots like that really translate well into our league in terms of deep range. As talk about deep range, Benji Bell showing us a little range tonight as well.
And one of the best examples of ball movement we've seen from Florida State tonight. The extra pass set up Benji Bell for his first bucket.
I think if Florida State can get a stop here and go score on the other end, it's a 9-point game. It changes the complexion of it.
Allen lost it. Plumlee found it. Fouled by Bojanovski, I believe. It is a foul on Bojanovski. That is his 4th.
Watch this beautiful ball movement by Florida State. Hits the left side of the floor, the attack to the middle. Extra pass there, and Benji Bell, the recipient. And Benji Bell, when he gets his feet set, he can absolutely knock it down. 44% from 3 for number 3 in black. You know what, though, Bob? That was a perfect time to come up with a 50-50 ball for Florida State, and they didn't come up with it. Got to show some toughness with that and come up with that basketball.
It looks like a kick was called on Devin Booker. So it will stay with the Blue Devils. Ingram rips through and is fouled. Terrence Mann got him on the wrist. That's his third.
That was a quick high rip through there by Brandon Ingram. Terrence Mann panicked there a little bit and trying to come back and block that shot, fouls him on the arm.
Well, the balance of Brandon Ingram's game is so impressive. 17 points, 7 rebounds, shoots 41% from behind the arc, 46% overall. Shane Battier is the only other Duke player to have a season where they made 50 or more threes and blocked 40 or more shots in a single season. Battier did it twice. Ingram has already done it this year. He's got, coming into tonight, 58 made threes and 40 blocked shots. Now he's got 14 points tonight. So that shows you how he can play inside defensively and outside offensively. And that's why he's number 2 on Chad Ford's big board.
Number 1 on my big board. Do I have a big board?
Jumper for Booker. You should.
Okay, I was just curious. Can I borrow yours? Where would you put it?
My big board covers media buffets.
That's good.
Shot clock under 10. FSU trying to get this to single digits, but they need stops to do it. And once again, they will send Ingram to the line.
Yeah, and you got to not foul in that situation because Beasley is there to actually help you there. And so you got to allow your teammate to be able to help without fouling. You can't give Duke these extra opportunities on the line here undefended. Another poor decision there by Florida State.
That was team foul number 7 on Florida State. So not a shooting foul for Ingram. This is a 1-and-1. This is the front end, but Plumlee gets another offensive rebound. And the 3 goes down for Matt Jones. 14 for Jones. Another turnover by Florida State. Here comes Kennard.
It's a good job by Florida State getting back, though. I thought that was surely going to be a 3 there from the left wing. Wow, Bob, an opportunity to close. You give up an offensive rebound, you foul, you turn it over.
Ingram to Plumlee.
Oh! What a pass.
Plumlee with a block and a takeaway. And he draws the foul.
Marshall Plumlee, one of my favorite energy guys in the country. I told you earlier, you let him catch it 2 feet in the paint. The big fella knows how to finish. And how about this? A speed advantage, Trucker staying perfectly upright, blocking the shot, coming up with the possession. Marshall Plumlee showing some strength down there on the box.
10 points, 10 rebounds, his 5th double-double of the season. And, man, he gets that intense game face on in the middle of a scrum. He scares me a little bit. I don't know if I'd be the first teammate to go over there and chest bump. I'd be afraid I'd be flipped over the scorer's table.
I'd have your back. You know our rule. You got everything 6 feet and under, and I got you 6'1" and over. I got you back there.
Terrence Mann called for his 4th foul.
And I recommend that we both run.
You'd be running first. Marshall Plumlee involved in the ROTC program here at Duke as he is preparing after graduation to become an Army officer.
How about that?
He fights on the court.
Armed forces, police officers, security people, you name it. Those guys are my heroes. Kudos to you, Marshall Plumlee.
A floater up to the rim. And Jarquez Smith able to throw it down. A pretty feed.
Anytime Florida State has made the extra pass tonight, they've been able to come up with some really good shot opportunities, and that was another beautiful possession by Florida State, but you gotta be able to get some stops here.
Feel like I've been saying that all night.
So funny, they get it close, and then give up an offensive rebound or turn it over.
Jones for three. Off the mark.
Here's an opportunity.
Bookert fouled on a reach-in by Kennard. Duke has been impressive offensively tonight. They built a 15-point lead.
Trying to be consistent like Adnan and Kara in studio, so I had to go chalk. But Oklahoma, again, the transition game, their ability to knock down shots, and they've played a few games this year where they've had to play more controlled basketball and prevailed. That's why I took them there. And Duke, with the way they space you out, can shoot the three and drive the basketball. Though Texas A&M is an excellent defensive team, I think Duke will have too many weapons for Texas A&M.
Adnan Envelopes is a nickname that has not caught on at all because I'm the only one that uses it. But Adnan Burke is to the Oscars what Joey Brackets is to the NCAA tournament. Oh, yeah. Adnan Burke will have an educated opinion about, like, best cinematography in a foreign film. There will not be a category that he will not have an opinion on when the Oscars air on Sunday.
Really?
Oh, sit with him. It's
wow.
ridiculous.
Adnan hiding some things from me. I'm going there tomorrow. I'm going to have to start digging deep.
I have 5 kids, so I have an educated opinion on best animated feature. That's it.
What's your favorite animated so far?
I can't play favorites. I like them all.
Come on now.
Take away at midcourt. Adnan, best cinematography in a foreign film this year goes to?
I'm glad you asked, Bob. Best cinematography, Emmanuel Lubezki is going to go 3 for 3. He shot The Revenant. I'm actually hoping Robert Richardson wins for The Hateful Eight, which I thought was kind of overlooked. But it's actually going to be Lubezki winning for The Revenant. Foreign film, Son of Saul. Book it. It's a lock.
Wow.
I told you. See?
That's impressive.
Fonz was looking at me like I was crazy, like Adnan Envelopes was not for real.
Wow.
Proves my point. Grayson Allen. Yes.
I tell you what, Adnan's description of that whole thing was as sweet as that Grayson Allen 3 right there. That was impressive. What you got up there, Kara? I think one of my favorite animated films is Cars, the first one. Love it.
Jarquez Smith, that pass deflected by Kennard, then a foul called on Kennard. And this week, our NBA Friday doubleheader on ESPN is D. Rose and the Bulls in Atlanta to take on the Hawks at 8 Eastern. And then at 10:30, the back end of a home-and-home between the Grizz and Kobe's Lakers. Coverage begins with NBA Countdown, charged by Dew at 7:30. Both games streaming live on Watch ESPN and the ESPN app. That's 4 on Kennard. So he will go to the bench. But the offense tonight has been free-flowing, simple, smooth, and really easily executed by Duke. They've got 70 points on the board. We still have 6.5 minutes to go as weaving through traffic is Rattan Mays. He has 8.
Yeah, when you have so many penetrators on the floor and excellent shooters around, it just puts you in a good way, and it's a beautiful offense to watch. Very similar to Notre Dame 4 out 1 in, which is also a lot of fun to watch. But I thought Coach K, after they lost that game to Utah, came up with this 4 out 1 in offense, and this offense has been humming ever since.
Grayson Allen does it again.
The most efficient offense in the nation, the Duke Blue Devils.
Allen has 17, and that keeps his streak alive as Rattan Mays hits a 3. Grayson Allen has scored at least 15 points in every ACC game for Duke.
He is a tough customer. Off the bounce, catch and shoot, shot fake and drive. Looks like he's limping a little bit here coming up the floor. He's limping a little bit. Hope he's all right.
Ingram drives it. Has his shot blocked. Plumlee has it taken away by Dwayne Bacon. Goes behind the back. Bacon, dipsy-do, won't finish. And Grayson Allen hustling back, gets the rebound.
I tell you, got to love this kid's toughness. Look at the little limp coming up the floor, but Grayson Allen will not come out of this basketball game. His toughness is impressive.
Grayson Allen was an addition to the Wooden Award late season top 20 because he has had a season that I'm not sure many saw coming. Here, though, he turns it over. Rattan Mays lays it in. 4:38 to go. A couple of buckets by Florida State makes it a 13-point game. And now a foul in the backcourt. And Leonard Hamilton turns his back.
Yeah, Xavier Rattan-Mays getting tied up with Derek Thornton there. And as you know, they always catch the second one.
That's 9 team fouls. Check that, 10 team fouls on Florida State. So it's the double bonus. Duke still has a foul to give.
Tell you what, I got to give Florida State a lot of credit here, Bob, because I thought when we saw them against Syracuse, I thought they let go the rope. I thought they really gave up in the last 4 minutes of that game because of how Syracuse was consistently knocking down big three balls. You know, they find themselves down, 14 right now, and they continue to battle. So it says something about at least the toughness of this team, even though they've not been able to consistently get it done on the defensive end.
Rattan-Mays is fouled again. But again, that's the foul to give. 16 fouls now for Duke here in the second half as that one goes against Matt Jones.
See how Florida State's driving the basketball and consistently driving it here in the second half? I thought they should have done that much more in the first half before Duke took such a big lead.
That's Jones' third. Well, Florida State's number 3 in the ACC in paint points. They average 36 paint points per game. That three won't go for Booker. Offensive rebound. There's some paint points as Jarquez Smith scores on the putback. And obviously, if you're number 3 in the league in paint points and you don't have a player that scores in the post with his back to the basket, you're getting those paint points because you're driving the ball.
Absolutely.
So you're just not seeing that tonight. That has to be a staple of their success when they're playing well.
Indeed, Bob. And they're playing against the team in Duke that's number 1 nationally in paint points surrendered at 37 points a game. So they got to continue to drive it and get to the offensive glass.
Here's Rattan-Mays driving it. Couldn't get it to go. And now Tony Green and Roger Ayers confer, and they say it goes out off of Florida State.
Xavier Rattan-Mays was able to pressure Derek Thornton into a turnover there. He's got to keep that full court pressure there. Maybe they can get a couple turnovers and hit a couple shots and try to get this thing under 10.
Touch foul on the drive will put Ingram at the line to shoot 2 when we come back as Beasley was called for the personal.
I can get over 60 sheets of drywall in them.
More perfect from the field, 5 for 5.
Right now, UConn is a healthy lead against South Florida. Also, SMU and Memphis. You see that game over on ESPN2. Malcolm here right now leading the team in points, rebounds, and assists. He's Mr. Everything for Illinois, just like our man Bob Wischusen.
Thanks, Adnan. Here with LaFonso Ellis as Ingram knocks one down at the line. 15 for Brandon Ingram. In our bracket practice, you had UConn going down to Wisconsin in a first-round game. And Wisconsin's a scary team.
Yes, they are.
And they're a team that, when their 2 best players, you'd have to say it's probably Brunson Koenig and Nigel Hayes that are still their 2 best players, although Vito Brown has been really good.
Yes, he has.
At times. But if those 2 play well, they can take anyone out because they slow the game down, right? They make it a 65-possession game. They don't turn it over. I would think if you were an opposing coach, that probably wouldn't be the first-round matchup you'd want to see.
You do not want to see Wisconsin. And for those 2 guys that you just spoke of, they've been to a Final Four already. And so they'll bring a lot of experience. And when the team's getting rattled, they'll be able to calm them down and settle them.
Jones misses from the corner. But it might be too little too late for the Noles, down by 15 with under 3 to play. If Beasley can make a 3, though, which he cannot. And it looks like that foul will go against Rattan-Mays. Well, let's take a look, a comparison between Duke and Notre Dame's BPI headed into tonight's game, powered by Microsoft Cloud. We thought these would be
plays at a much higher tempo and rate than does Notre Dame. Notre Dame's a low possession team this year, but both teams don't turn it over very much. Both teams are going to be difficult to deal with in the NCAA tournament.
Well, we saw Notre Dame in that period of time where they were without Demetrius Jackson. They were a totally different team without him than they are with him. Now they've got him back. And if he is playing at a high level, would you put Notre Dame then on an even par with Duke. And Emil Jefferson, at some point you wonder if they're ever going to get him back this season, as he was unable to go again tonight.
Because Demetrius Jackson accounts for about 38% of Notre Dame's offense, and if you can take him out of the game, you got a shot at beating Notre Dame. But I look at this Duke team, and even if you neutralize Brandon Ingram, you still have to deal with Grayson Allen and Grayson Allen's ability to be able to attack you off the bounce and be able to knock down threes. So I still, in a head-to-head matchup, I give Duke a slight edge because of two dynamic players being on the floor, something that Notre Dame had last year in Jaren Grant and Pat Connaughton.
Derek Thornton fouls out.
But Stevie Vastoria for Notre Dame is having himself quite a second half of the ACC season as well. Again, both teams so similar in their ability to space you, knock down threes. Just not every team in the country has a number 14 in white and Brandon Ingram.
Ingram somehow saved it. He banked it off Devin Bookert with 5 to shoot. He was out of control, but had the wherewithal to throw it off the leg of Bookert.
Bob, I know a lot of people don't, a lot of camera folks don't want to hear this, but I do feel because of the increased athleticism of today's players, those cameras and people on that baseline need to, wow, what a play.
Able to hang from the rim. Off the feet from Matt Jones.
I think these players these days need a lot more room to be able to land. We've seen several injuries this year in college and in the pros with guys going across the baseline and either getting hit by a camera or in somebody's lap over there. I think they need much more space along the baselines.
How about the hustle on the dive by Matt Jones to get the timeout?
Duke runs beautiful underneath, out of bounds. A little screen there on the outside for Plumlee, and he comes off that thing. If you don't bump him, he comes off that thing so hard. And what a beautiful pass over the top. Marshall Plumlee knows exactly what to do with it when he catches it in the paint.
13 and 10 for Marshall Plumlee.
Bob, he's been practically a double-double guy.
Virginia are both amongst the group of 1 and 2 seeds as projected by Joey Brackens.
That's what's so funny again about this is, so Xavier not just beats Villanova, they spanked Villanova last night. They did too. I'm talking about from a
the last 5 minutes they pulled away. It was a pretty close game before then.
The physicality of Xavier last night, I thought overwhelmed Villanova. And when you're physical and aggressive, it has a cumulative impact, and so I'm not surprised at all in the last 5 minutes of the game that it got away from Villanova, but I was surprised today that Joey didn't flip-flop them and put Villanova on the 2 seed.
Well, one thing that I think Joe Lunardi does when he looks at results and how they impact his projections, and I'm sure he's going off the long history of how the committee looks at it as well.
Right.
He does not penalize teams for losing against really good competition on the road.
That's a good point.
And last night, Villanova lost a game against a really, really good team on the road in a brutal place to play. Xavier in the Cintas Center is about as good as Duke is at Cameron.
Yeah.
Or,
I've been there.
Kansas is at Allen Fieldhouse. I mean, nobody knows how good Xavier is nationwide at home, but they are a tremendous home team.
Yes, they are. And yet I look at Villanova, who's had high seeds over the last few years and have had early upsets. And so I'm sure that's somewhere in my mind they're making that flip-flop between them and Xavier. Because I actually think Xavier's a better team. In a neutral court, I think Xavier will beat Villanova 3 out of 5 games.
Well, they've traded wins this year. Speaking of being a very good home team, under Coach Krzyzewski, Duke is about to improve to 488-61 in this building.
61.
They actually lost 2 in a row against unranked opponents in this building. They had won 54 of the previous 55. So this one gets them back on track where that is concerned as well. But since the beginning of the 2009 season, With this win tonight, they will improve to 109-6 at home. Wow, that's pretty good.
That is really good. But you know, how many did you say? 488?
They're 488-61 at home with this win tonight under Coach K.
I'm responsible for 2 of those 488.
Well done.
0 for 2. 0 for 5 total in my career against Duke. Could never get one against Christian Laettner. Too good. In fact, I thought I saw Danny Ferry floating around here. He was a senior. Didn't get one against him either.
Down to the last 30 seconds. A lob, and Jeter regathers, held ball. And you were right.
Danny Ferry. Wow, he looks like he did when he was a player, when he was in San Antonio. Tell you, Danny Ferry, man, I think he was one of the first of the bigs who could shoot the basketball from the perimeter. If you left Danny Ferry open at the three-point line, you could forget it. May as well run down the other end of the floor.
Down to the last 15 seconds, and Duke still scrambling for loose balls. And the last 10 seconds will tick off. Although Booker comes over trying to get a steal with 3 seconds to go. And the crowd loves that here at Cameron.
I love the effort by Booker, though, not allowing it just to run out. That's what you expect from your senior.
A 15-point win for Duke as the lone loss at Louisville over the weekend in a 7-game stretch now where they have won 6, and many of those wins have been very impressive, including that scrappy win against North Carolina.
Yeah, the